Hello there. I'm going to read out the first few paragraphs from Ouspensky's book, The Fourth Way, because they always struck me when I heard them. He says, "Before I begin to explain to you in a general way what the system is about, and to talk about our methods, I want particularly to impress on your minds that the most important ideas and principles of the system do not belong to me. This is chiefly what makes them valuable, because if they belonged to me, they would be like all other theories invented by ordinary minds. They would give only a subjective view of things. It's a strange thing to say, because if you're writing a book, you would want to be sure about what you're talking about. But here he seems unsure. He seems to be saying here that he does not trust the ideas that are in his head, and that it is only worth giving consideration to ideas that come from someone else. It's again a very strange thing to say, you know, because unless those ideas have gone inside of you, why are you writing a book? If you're not talking from your heart, why do you talk? Don't all your ideas mean something to you? They may be imperfect, but they mean something to you, don't they? I hope they do. I hope they do. He talks about the ideas and principles of the system. But any spiritual path is not really ideas and principles. It is a practice. There has to be things to practice. That's like when I hear people talking about Christianity and they talk about faith and belief. It just doesn't mean anything. The only thing that means something is the practice. Because each path has got practices, and it is they that transform you. And only that leads to salvation. There is no transformation to ideas and principles. The ordinary mind of people deals in ideas and principles and morality because it is outside of you. The ordinary mind of people is like when they look out of their eyes and they see the life out there, and they sort of understand themselves in relation to what's out there. And ordinary people don't like sitting down quietly in the darkness. They freak out. They resist it. Because they don't know what they'll find. Maybe if you sit down in the darkness, there's nothing there. And yet again, maybe something is there. And that is your only hope. You don't know. You don't know. If something new is going to come, it must be something that you don't know. So he's right there. It must be something that you don't know. But not words. So he says something else here interesting. They would give only a subjective view of things. A subjective view? Although the paths that are available point to the absolute has to flow through you, through your coarse mortal coil. You have to learn, like a donkey who sees the sunrise and wants something, needs something. It is not just the objective and just the subjective. The point, as always, is to learn. And the learning means that the subjective reaches upwards so that the objective can flow through him. That is the point. All learning is when something new happens inside of you that didn't happen before. All learning is a revelation in the real world. Of course, these days people can change superficial ideas in their head. You can change them every minute if you like. They don't touch you. The entire apparatus of having an idea and another idea and another idea, it doesn't touch you. Thank God it doesn't touch you. Morality, that is another interesting word. The sense of it is that there is something that's good or bad and there's a judgment on you. But there isn't actually any morality in religion, because religion is a school. It has knowledge, and the commandments that the school gives you teach you how to live rightly, how to do more, how to be more, how to ascend. There are instructions for ascending and to live like a noble being. It's not morality. I'll continue with Ouspensky. When I began to write a new model of the universe in 1907, I formulated to myself, as many other people have done before and since, that behind the surface of the life which we know lies something much bigger and more important. And I said to myself then that until we know more about what lies behind, all our knowledge of life and ourselves is really negligible. Now, Gurdjieff taught that although people want to reach high, they want to find something amazing, he taught that actually it is the lower centers, meaning our lower functions, that are in bad condition, and he taught methods to heal the lower centers, for instance the withdrawal of the wrong energies, cross-wiring the centers, so that when you use your body, it is the body alone. When you use your feelings, it's the feelings alone. When you use your mental functions, they are alone. Each one does its job. Because people cross-wire them all the time. And this is a very strange idea. If you say to somebody, if somebody walks into a religious setting and they want to become the Buddha, they want to go high, they want to move away from this coarse life, the one thing that would shock them is to say, you don't know your life, and if you did, you wouldn't need religion. And it is not to go high that you need, but to repair how you live here. It's difficult. He tries to explain what it means, the wrong work of centers, that people live in daydreaming and they've lost contact with themselves. If I walk through this world, it's hard to see the earth that is innocent, and the trees and the flowers, and to live like that, like a painting, like a folk tale, to have faith in the sunlight, to have faith in flowers and flowering, in the seasons, and to see that it is not a small thing to be stepped upon, but the very model and instruction of nature. So he tells us that the way we live is not right, but it's not easy to understand. And he tells us that we are surrounded by people who also have become accustomed to live by having a million thoughts a day, which is damaging for the mind. It is damaging for the mind to allow nonsense to flow through it, to not use it for something deliberate, to live with aim. In the West, in the past, people did have aims. And order. And they made beautiful things. And they felt good making them. And they probably didn't think twice about it. Ouspensky continues, I remember one conversation at that time when I said, if it were possible to accept as proven that consciousness, or as I should call it now, intelligence, can manifest itself apart from the physical body, many other things could also be proved. Only